IoT or Internet of Things. So to be honest, I do not have a foundational background on it, but what I can say is that it sounds very relevant and timely, no, as we go on to the future and as we moving forward, since this topic I believe will be relevant in our college, since our college is CSIT, or College of Science and Information Technology, which in this college are geared courses here are geared towards innovation and towards the future. So I believe that Miss Clariza Look will give us a insightful presentation about these topics. So I'll give the stage back to Mr. Justin Mendoza.
Thank you, Boss MJ, for the wonderful message. Let us now proceed to the webinar proper. Allow me to introduce our speaker for today's webinar. She is a graduate of BS Computer Science from the year of 2001 to 2005 Ateneo de Zamboanga University. She is 10 years as a digital marketing practitioner, Master of Business Marketing from University of Western Sydney from 2016 to 2017, Master of Information Technology from University of Western Australia 2020 to 2022. And she is now transitioning into the IT space. Please help me welcome Ms. Clariza Luog.
Hi, everyone. Mag-share na ako ng screen?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Ito po. Saan ba yung screen ko? Ayun. Ay, teka. Teka lang po. Mag-share ako ng screen. Starting a share screen will stop participant computer sound share. Do you want to continue? Yes. Sana yung screen ko. Yan. Share na screen. Everybody can see my screen na, no?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Na-introduce naman ako. So, and then na-introduce na din kung ano yung topic natin for today. I wish, and I hope everyone is doing well. I know that paano maging student, kasi student din naman ako ngayon. Go lang, kasi may tawag dyan, may makukuha din naman tayo sooner or later out of that. Anyway, so our topic for today, I will start with the topic the topics now. Will be about the introduction to the cloud. I'll talk about types of cloud computing structures, different types of cloud providers na we have online, and then after that, introduction to Internet of Things, its architectures using the cloud, and itong tip about the IT job landscape requested by Ma'am Jess to give you an idea, guys, on what's going on sa when you graduate as an IT, what are the opportunities that you can find out there? Anyhow, so to begin with, gaya nga ng sabi ni Sir MJ that we don't, I mean, like the university doesn't teach much yet about cloud computing at this time, kasi naman it's something really, really new, but it's a good thing to know as early as now, kasi maybe it's not yet applied to many companies in Philippines, mga local companies especially, but out there, it's already there. It's happening actually since 10 years ago, and ngayon ko lang din siya na-encounter since kumuha ako ng unit about this, and it's one whole unit, which is 3 months na time. It's not even like a complete extensive unit, parang ano lang siya, yung introductory lang siya. So it's something really big to learn, or a big topic to learn, but it's also relevant, which you can bring or you can apply for a job later on. And it will be here for probably the next 5 to 10, maybe 5 years siguro. It still be relevant, and position, maganda din kung makaka-position na kayo as early as now, because by the time na mature na yung Philippine market, if you're still in the Philippines by then nasa senior level na kayo, most likely, or ngayon din, like after 3 years, maybe after you graduate, tapos nag-plan kayo mag-abroad, and you have the skills of this, and especially certifications, it's an advantage for you as an IT practitioner. Anyway, moving forward, what is cloud computing? So this one is a bit technical, maybe. I'll probably just explain it in a way na yung medyo madali siyang intindihin. So accordingly, it's a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Example, network, server, storage, applications, and services, blah, blah, blah. So yan siya. It's a bit complicated. Even kahit ako na medyo na nagiging siya, medyo technical talaga siya intindihin, but how I understand it is actually how you are going to look at it is, for example, cloud computing. So right now, if you will look at it, yung may ADZU enrollment system tayo dyan sa ADZU, kasi nga noon, ito yung example na nakikita ko. Kasi ako noon student, anong tawag dyan? Yung nag-help ako, student scholar na nag-help sa enrollment. So yung nagla-login na naglalagay ng mga inputs ng mga students, and then parang pang-schedule ng mga, anong tawag dyan? Mga units na mga schedules nila, yung mga classes. So yun yung naisip ko na example na system. So the enrollment system has database, the enrollment system has an interface being used, maybe it was designed using Java, or maybe that time C++, or whatever technologies. Hindi ko alam kasi how do I say, like hindi naman ako nag-develop noon. It was maybe long time developed by some other students, or maybe the teachers na. So they usually will have, if you will imagine the design, they will have something like a database and a user interface, and then some other things like servers where to store and serve the web pages. So parang ganun siya. And those contents are stored in a physical computer. So that's how it's usually like it looks like, as in a simple way. But then cloud computing, here comes cloud computing, where everything right now is online. So you can configure the server, the storage online, like may login ka lang na website, and then if we'll ask you if you want to have like a storage, or if you want to create an application, say for example like an ADZU enrollment system, and it will give you what resources you need from there. So hindi ka na magbibili ng hardware, hindi ka na mag-iisip about people, systems administrator to set it up for you, to maintain for you physically. So that's how cloud computing sounds like, just to give you an idea on how, like in a simplest way to how to imagine it. And then so kung iisipin natin, let's go back to the history. But may cloud computing in the first place? Kasi with cloud computing, naging cloud siya hindi for the sake of like having new technologies lang. This is cool. This is something, what they call this, like trending. Kasi yung sabi niyo nga, innovation. So it's something that improve someone's problem in the organization, or in a business, or personal, in a way. But actually, by history, yung mga servers, isipin lang natin, pasensya na kung may mga experts sa servers dito, hindi ako masyadong exposed sa servers. Like yung magse-set up ka ng mga computer systems or maybe kahit anong enrollment software system, kailangan mo ng mga servers. And then if it's physical servers, that means you need to have a rack, and then you need to have a cooling system. It should be inside a building, and then it should be durable for, not durable, but what do you call that? Like away, malayo sa risk ng mga flooding or of breakaway, or like yung, ano, dapat secure yung building. And then to maintain that is very costly, lalo na if your application is getting bigger and bigger. Okay lang yung kung maliit, maybe kahit nga yung enrollment system, sabihin natin maraming students, but it's still maliit compare sa, i-imagine mo kung magra-run ka ng software na like, what do you call this? Netflix na parang app, or maybe Uber app, yung parang ganon. So, kailangan mo ng malaking database, kailangan mo ng malaking server, and although you can do that physically if you need to, but it doesn't mean na di na din working yung mga physical stuff, but it's just that if you want to make it handy for you to focus more on the development of your app, then you can do it on cloud computing. So that's in that way, yun yung mga companies na may mga ganong problema, at naging ano na siya, naging demand na siya sa mga big companies especially. And then ngayon naging consumer, hindi naman siya yung super consumer, but yung mga small businesses na gumagamit na rin sila ng mga cloud computing services. So when you say cloud computing services, it includes hindi lang servers, hindi lang storage or database, it includes many stuff na magagawa mo. For example, kahit yung may server, for example, yung enrollment system ngayon ng ADZU is physical. But maybe parts of it gusto nila gawing cloud, pwede namang hybrid, physical at saka yung cloud. So, kukuha sila ng ibang service, say analytics services, and they just go through to a cloud computing na provider and put their data there and do some analysis and machine learning stuff there. That is still cloud computing. So, hindi naman siya like specific talaga from servers lang or database lang. And ikaw, example, kung gusto mo din mag-start na gumawa ng app, for example, like a web app, o kahit hindi web app, siguro mobile app, game. Maybe simple game para pang projects dyan. Kung gusto nyo magka-projects na yung tawag dyan, yung mga projects na thesis projects, pwede kayo gumawa ng mga simple apps. Tapos i-host nyo lang. Pwede naman sa mga hosting na sites. Pero pang exposure na rin sa nyo, pwede kayo kumuha ng mga cloud computing providers later on. But may cost naman involved, of course. But it's good to have experience talaga. And I hope pwede kayo mag-request siguro sa mga teachers nyo na may access kayo to some cloud computing na mga services. Kasi meron naman talaga silang, I think, kailangan lang yan ng communication kasi may mga cloud services naman nagbibigay sila mga discounts sa mga students and universities. Anyway, next next slide. What is on-premise versus cloud computing? So yung in-explain ko kanina, yung sabi kong physical servers, that is what you call on-premise software or on-premise services na naka-installed in a building and then maintained by people. Siguro laki ko to para makita nyo yung small. So maraming maintenance. So yung kaya nga may system admins, may network admins, meron ding security, and ano pa ba tawag dyan? Yung iba pa din yung mga nagme-maintain ng mga tawag dyan, ng mga websites, or iba pa rin yung nagpro-program talaga ng software or nagme-maintain ng software. So marami siyang tao na babayaran, pero Oo nga, kasi yun yung on-premise, kasi nga may physical server talaga or may physical computer talaga na dapat i-maintain. So yung difference sa cloud computing is, although pwede din naman ganun sa cloud computing, but nire-rent mo yung server from the provider. So that means hindi mo na kailangan mag-maintain ng mga different other na part ng hardware, or at least you don't need to pay for more. Like if you buy a hardware, you will buy, like you have to think about how much you need to fill in your hardware. So bibili ka ng 800 terabyte na hardware, ganun, or anong tawag dyan, but hindi mo naman ginagamit. So sayang yun. Unlike if you do for cloud computing, you can just buy enough. Like if you're still doing testing for your application, then you can buy small amount, and then once you scale it na, then that's where you buy a bigger package na. So hopefully may nakuha kayo doon. Just drop your messages or questions sa chat box. I-answer natin mamaya. What are the types of cloud computing structures? Actually, hindi naman to that how do I say, that critical to learn muna, kasi baby pa talaga yung learnings nyo, I assume. It's just to let you know na ang cloud is marami siyang mga categories. So may 4 categories, but actually yung commonly used lang talaga is public, hybrid, and private cloud. What are the differences between the 3? Marami naman. But yung common talaga is public cloud, kasi it's like the provider will be sharing their servers, physical servers to the public. Hindi na public access, but anyone or consumers can buy, regardless consumer na business or consumer na individual, can buy a specific part of the server from the provider. And then yung mga ibang servers nila sa building nila, sa data center yung tawag nila, nakakabili din yung ibang tao. And then so sharing kayo sa isang data center, marami kayo sa isang isang server, but hindi naman na nag-share kayo ng data doon. May individual naman ng mga security systems naman. But it's just like you're sharing the same hardware or the same data center. Unlike yung private cloud, for example, if you're a bank, you don't want to share it into a public cloud kasi hindi naman na secured, hindi secured yung public cloud, but it's just that you don't want to, for security reasons, yung mga banks, gusto talaga nila, sa kanila lang yung data, ayaw nila i-share to general, like kahit nga yung sa provider itself. So, yung gusto nila, bumili sila ng sariling data center, gumawa talaga sila ng isang building, nasa cloud pa rin siya, but privately. Parang ganon. Sorry kung sa mga expert na sa cloud computing, yung explanation ko is yung based lang sa understanding ko din. So, yun yung naintindihan ko sa private cloud. So, yung hybrid cloud, for example, is a mixture of using public cloud services tsaka private cloud. So, pwede din, like yung bank, maybe yung mga banking details tsaka behavior data from the clients or yung mga consumers nila. Siyempre yung bank, ikaw bank user ka, gumagamit ka ng app. So yung app data mo as yung name tsaka yung mga banking details mo nasa private cloud nila, but maybe yung website details mo, yung mga browsing details mo nasa public cloud lang. So yun yung tawag na hybrid. So it's a combination of anything. Kasi wala naman talaga, yung sabi ko nga kanina, walang standard talaga. Yung how you want to do things is just what works for you best. So you can mix and match unless hindi talaga pwede. But in this scenario, usually like mix and match yung mga companies. Anyway, so community cloud, hindi ko na lang siguro explain masyado kasi hindi ko naman nakikita na nagagamit siya somewhere at this point yet, kasi mostly public, hybrid, and private talaga yung ginagamit. Hello, ito, medyo technical na. Types of cloud computing services. Actually, inisip ko to na hindi na sana isali, but I wanted to just give you an idea kung anong ibig sabihin ng mga German na mga language, infrastructure as service, platform as service, and software as service. Just to give you an idea kung na nag-exist tong word na to, and it's like a buzzword sa cloud computing na concept. So, and then if you move forward sa, kung gusto nyo talaga maging cloud, like expert or architect in the future, magiging, nyo na to, parang bread and butter na to. Siya yung parang isa sa mga core na mga, tawag dyan, terms na dapat nyo i-learn. But, I just gave it here to just introduce you na may ganitong word na nag-exist siya. So anyway, but don't worry if you don't understand. Just have an idea about what it is. Paano ba yung simula siguro tayo ng software as a service kasi mostly sa atin gumagamit na ganito. So for example, gumagamit kayo ng etong Zoom, software siya, di ba? Tapos tayo as a consumer, gumagamit na lang tayo. Hindi tayo nagpo-program sa kanya. So ang gamit lang talaga natin is to record, to present, and then to communicate, and video, and that's it. So isa sang software as a service. So gumagamit tayo as a service. So that's an example of software as a service. On the other hand, yung platform as a service is magre-register ka sa cloud provider, yung sabi ko kanina. And then you're developing an app, but ready ka na, you have the physical servers and everything. You just want an additional, or you want to migrate your database to the cloud. And then the cloud has a database na platform doon na one click na lang para i-connect mo yung on-premise na database mo to upload it sa sa database nila na similar, very similar lang talaga sa database mo. So in that way, yun yung platform as a service. So you don't necessarily need to set up a computer or something. You just one click and then it will upload your database and you start doing, your programming applications para to use that database online or sa on-prem mo. Yun yung naintindihan ko. But tapos yung infrastructure as a service is mostly like wala kang server, wala kang anything, and then you will go to this provider and you will ask them, hey, I want some, gusto ko gumawa ng web application, and then gusto ko ng server, wala akong server, and then additional storage and some database. So tawag doon infrastructure kasi sila yung magbibigay sila ng infrastructure sa'yo, ikaw yung magsa-set up ng server and network. And it's not as complicated as the physical server to set up. Kasi click ka lang naman. As long as may knowledge ka sa yung ginagawa mo doon. But hindi talaga siya kailangan ng, how do I say? Hindi siya kailangan ng physical na connection sa mga circuits. Basically, similar sa virtual machine. I'm not sure if you're familiar of using VMware. Yung nagsa-set up ka ng virtual machine, it's similar siya na parang ganun siya yung setup ng infrastructure as a service. So basically, all of them are services, pero categorized by three major types. So software, yung mga 365 Microsoft applications, yung mga online na SharePoint, or yung mga yung Gmail, kahit yung Dropbox is software as a service. Ito yung mga examples. So dito pa siya, yung mga Salesforce, yung Gmail. So mga software yan sila. Web app. Yung Gmail is called a web app. So ginagamit ng mga consumers for their daily task, not for development. Unlike yung platform is for development, actually for developers talaga siya. Para may application ka na, magko-code ka na lang, hindi mo na kailangan mag-set up pa talaga ng virtual machine and maintain that kasi may ready na siya. And then the next one is yung infrastructure na na-explain ko na kanina. ito din, cloud versus virtual machine. They are somewhat, nilagay ko to dito kasi may topic din kami about dito that time sa yung introduction ng cloud computing few weeks back. Na ano the difference ng cloud and virtual machine? Pare-pareho lang naman sila at some point kasi kung gusto niyo mag-idea sa anong cloud, you can create a virtual machine from VirtualBox, free lang siya. And then set up lang naman yung mga ano-ano doon, yung RAM and everything. But the virtual machine will use your computer's resources, physical resources. So yung hardware, so kung maliit lang yung hardware mo, not yung hardware, yung itsura ng hardware, but I mean yung capacity ng hardware, magko-consume talaga siya yung virtual machine. Kasi kung cloud, nasa cloud naman siya magko-consume. Hindi naman sa'yo, connect ka lang through the cloud, but actually yung magsa-set up ka ng mga ilang gigabytes ng RAM mo and everything is still on the cloud. But yung virtual machine, magsa-set up ka ng 4 gig tapos yung computer mo is 8 gig capacity, so mako-consume na talaga 8 ang half nun. Basta ganun yung division niya. So that's the difference between cloud and virtual machine. Ano pa? So same din, pag ino-open mo yung virtual machine mo on your computer, humihina yung performance ng computer mo. Lalo na pag if you open too many browsers and then tawag dyan, yung may music pa, tapos open pa yung virtual machine. Sa virtual machine, nagko-coding ka pa or lalo na kung nag-graphics or tawag dyan, yung video editing ka pa. So nagko-consume talaga yan ng maraming resources sa physical computer mo. And, but tawag dyan, yung in-explain ko lang to kasi somewhat related, at least may idea kayo difference between cloud and virtual machine. And of course, virtual machine is somewhat free in a way, although except yung mga real na talaga, yung parang may project talaga kayo na mag-access ka ng virtual machine na binili ni client, yung ganun. But dito is just to give you an idea anong difference talaga ng cloud. So sa cloud is yung difference talaga is hindi siya gagamit ng resources ng laptop mo. So pwede ka nga mag-access ng cloud kahit nasa maliit na computer ka lang. Yung hindi high core na computer. Basta may lang siya, nakaka-access lang siya online at may space siya konti to install some small programs. And now, dito na tayo sa mga different cloud providers. So alam ko naman na sikat talaga yung si Google sa Philippines kasi on a marketing perspective na matagal na din naman si Google talaga yung number 1 in terms of advertising platforms kasi ako sa marketing. So Google talaga yung ginagamit. So akala ko noon Google na talaga yung pinaka the best company sa world and gusto ko mag-work doon and everything. Pumunta na rin ako sa Google Singapore last time. Free, ang ganda ng office nila with free meals, like parang siya, airport na may free buffet sa loob, tapos may mga juice, fresh talaga yung orange juice na may machine talaga sila, ganon. May milk sila sa fridge, tapos may massage area. Anyway, yun yung Google. Lavish talaga yung nila, yung culture nila, which is good. But yun, later on, yung na-touch ko na yung cloud computing na topic, doon ko na-realize na marami palang, there are so much cloud companies out there, and Google is just not even yung maybe nasa top 5 siya, but not even yung sa top 2 or something. Kasi kung iisipin nyo yung market share when you say cloud computing provider, AWS talaga yung pinaka number 1 and malayo yung difference niya. Kahit top 3 nga yung Google Cloud at saka yung Microsoft Azure, top 3 yan sila or top 5. But yung market share talaga ng AWS is very high kasi sila yung mga pioneering sa cloud computing. Or kung meron mang ibang mas pioneer but mas na market ni Amazon Web Services yung cloud as na position nila yung self nila as the leader. So, tapos, bago pa siya, so hindi pa siya known sa hindi ko alam dyan sa Philippines, but hindi pa siya masyadong, yung parang Google, hindi pa siya known sa mga tech siguro at some point, unless yung mga practitioners na talaga. So, malaki yung chance, there's a very big opportunity for us to learn this as early as now, and in the next 5 years, once this thing will mature, then we are already there. Nasa market na tayo. But yeah, I mean, it's all about learning it not lang ngayon, but moving forward. So I'm giving you the introduction, and it's up to you to explore more about it. It's not as hard as you think it is na yung parang it's just, just try to see if you like it or not, and then yeah, go for it lang, explore, kasi maraming free na mga trainings sila na nagbibigay, which is ibibigay ko naman mamaya. So top 10 cloud providers, AWS refers to Amazon Web Services. So iba yung Amazon.com na shopping site, actually Amazon Marketplace. Na-touch ko rin yun nung digital marketing ako, nagbebenta ako doon, parang online shopping, but yung client ko naman, yung binebentahan ko, yung hinahandle ko lang yung account niya. Hindi ako yung nagbebenta directly. So parang Shopee siya, but more secure, mas marami siyang mga rules para before ka magiging seller and everything. Azure is referring to Microsoft. So anong tawag dyan? Naging lang siya, Microsoft din naman siya, but Azure yung branding niya kasi sa cloud term na siya. Pag sa cloud na industry, Azure yung tawag sa kanya instead of Microsoft. Tapos yung Google Cloud is GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So minsan kung makikita kayong job posting na experience in Google Cloud GCP, so ibig sabihin ng Google Cloud Platform. Meron ding Alibaba Cloud, but di ko siya na-touch kasi I think more on the Asian market siya, and so na tinatry niya rin maging dominant, but I think sa Asia market, sa Alibaba siguro yung sa top, but hindi naman na more top sa AWS kasi AWS talaga yung mas mataas. And yung iba, Salesforce, yung IBM, may Oracle nga din. They are also cloud providers, but yun nga, it doesn't mean na di sila on top, di na sila nag-exist, but kasi may mga parang nagiging vendor na sila or naging provider na sila by a certain yung business problem na gusto sila yung kukunin. So yung Salesforce, most likely yung mga Salesforce customers sa marketing, Salesforce CRM tawag dyan, yun yung mga clients na tina-transfer nila to the Salesforce cloud computing ng mga services. So para mas madali na lang. But yeah, just to give you an idea, ito yung mga cloud providers. So, where is cloud used? So, ito yung mga companies na gumagamit ng AWS at the moment. If you will see, Netflix is here. Just imagine how Netflix architecture looks like. So, it has a lot of like a movie store. That means marami siyang movies within. Nag-host siya ng movies sa database or somewhere sa cloud. And imagine anong number of traffic na pumupunta sa Netflix around the world. So that's really big. It's not maliit na that's what you call big data. So hindi lang siya maliit na number. It's really like unimaginable. Kasi yung kino-consider dyan, hindi lang yung login ng user, hindi lang yung usage ng movie, hindi lang yung behavior ng user, marami pang ibang mga data na nilalag nila. So just imagine how big the storage they would need. And they're using Amazon Web Services for that. Dropbox is under Amazon, so Airbnb. And question now is, how about yung Facebook? Ba't wala yung Facebook dito sa Amazon Web Services? Tinignan ko din yun. Kasi nga, sabi ko, like, saan kaya naka-host yung Amazon as yung Facebook? So, in-search ko, and na-found out ko na yung Facebook is hosting their own cloud service. So private cloud service sila. Kasi I think yung reason is like they don't want to share the information because they have a very good behavioral data from people. So it's their parang yun yung parang tawag dyan, yung product nila, behavioral data. So pero hindi sila nagbebenta ng web services. I think they have their own lang. Anyway, so where is cloud used? Pwede siya pang hosting lang. Pwede siya mixture of hosting, backup, and storage. Paano ba yung backup? Tawag dyan. Yung backup is like, syempre, when you store your data or when you have a server, you always need a backup kasi hindi naman palaging online yung server. So if yung usual by practice sabi nila, you have to have at least 2 servers minimum to, for example, like for yung tawag dyan, yung airplane, yung si Cebu Pacific. Di ba pag nagse-sail yung Cebu Pacific, nagda-down yung site. Kasi nga, hindi ready yung server, usually yung server ng Cebu Pacific, hindi siya ready pag nag-i-increase yung, tawag dyan, yung traffic. So, nagda-down yung site, walang plan B, or kung meron man, di ko alam yung yung setup nila, but I assume it in a way na mas easier to explain. Na pag nag-down yung site, wala kang backup, magiging pangit yung service mo sa consumer. So, pag naka-cloud ka, usually, pwede siya as backup. Madali lang siya mag-create ng backup. So, once you have your server sa isang lugar, pwede ka mag-create, automatic siya may backup option na you want a backup or not, na every time na pwede mo siya magda-direct ka ng kung umi-increase nga yung audience na traffic sa website mo, pwede siya mag-deliver ng traffic, magdi-divide siya sa backup mo para yung hindi magda-down yung website mo. So ganun yun siya yung ibig sabihin ng backup. And then pwede din siya cloud, yung sabi ko kanina, databases. Pwede din siya media hosting, yung pareho ng Netflix na nag-host siya ng mga movies and many things. And pwede ka din gumawa yung parang Etsy. Etsy is like a image editor, something na website. So web app siya. So pwede din siya gawin through the cloud. And at saka marami pang iba. So mobile apps, web apps. Hindi ko alam bakit may Facebook apps dito, but yun, marami siyang magagawa yung cloud. Hindi lang siya siguro ma-imagine nyo pa ngayon kasi maybe di siya for consumer na general yung pang shopping lang tayo, magsha-shopping lang tayo kasi more on developing applications talaga siya ginagamit. Okay. I think that's mostly about cloud computing. May questions ba before tayo pupunta ng next topic? Wala.
Yun, guys. Hello,
Technical masyado. Hopefully may nakuha kayo.
Baka may questions kayo. The floor is open for Q&A. Yes, ang ganda ng topic, guys. It's very informative and it's very, parang nakaka-relate siya in the real world. So baka may questions kayo? Kahit nyo na lang. You can, na din, directly kay ma'am. Questions through chat.
Mag-stop na ba tayo by 2 o'clock? Hindi pa, no? Kasi medyo mahaba-haba pa siya. Like another maybe 15 minutes more.
It's okay, ma'am. We can take our time.
Okay. So, drop lang kayo ng questions kung may mga questions. Mag-move na tayo sa next topic. Internet of Things. I'm not sure how when yung first time nyo narinig yan or maybe narinig nyo na encounter nyo na but hindi lang siya na discuss within, like a group of people na kilala nyo. But it's just talking about smart technology. If you think of it, Internet of Things, for you to easy to remember is actually it's just my own understanding on how I would prefer it to, you know, how do I say, like, to understand it. Kasi I associate with something para mas easier ko mas understand. So, i-associate ko siya into sensors. So, Internet of Things is just about sensors, and these sensors gathers information or data and pass it online and save it to the cloud. So, that's how they get connected. So, and then smart technology and Internet of Things are also, like, you know, related in a way, very much related, because it's like, you know, all the sensors from around our environment is being like, is gathering information or data and then put it in the cloud or online, and then something happens online and will, you know, give you insights or give insights to other smart, how do I say, like, technologies to make decisions. So, for example, if you have, I know many people, lalo na yung mga bagets talaga na tech or like yung mga may mga bagong, anything bago meron talaga. So, like, for example, smartwatch, wala ko nun kasi hindi ko ma-afford yung smartwatch. Sorry, just kidding. Wala ko nun kasi traditional person kasi ako eh. Gusto ko yung typical mechanical watch. Kahit digital, wala nga ako yung number. Although okay lang naman, kung may magbibigay, hindi naman ako mag-no. But, so yung smartwatch is a smart device. Kung sino din yung may mga bagong TV na may Netflix, yung mag-open kayo ng TV, tapos makita nyo, connect lang kayo anong channel, tapos pwede kayo pumili ng Netflix, yun yung smart TV. Kasi yung TV namin dito, hindi siya smart kasi tawag dyan, hindi naman siya old, flat screen na naman siya, may HDMI naman siya, but when we want to connect to Netflix, we have to use a mobile device and then just chuck it sa device para ma-play niya para siyang projector, ma-play niya sa TV para mas malaking screen. But yung mga iba is like connected kayo sa mga tawag dyan, cable connections and everything na may mga makaka-choose kayo ng Netflix at ibang channel, meaning smart yan. So meaning, actually nagko-collect din yan ng data at some point. What else yung smart device? Ayun yung mga simple na, yung si Siri, smart device na yan. Or kung may si Google, yung Google, please play a music, yung mga ganon. Si Alexa, smart device yan sila. So, yung parang robot daw, but actually, kahit hindi naman siya perfect robot, but at least may nag-i-interact sa'yo and nagkukuha ng data and transfers information online. Yan yung mga smart technologies. So, dito i-explain ko din yung iba't ibang smart technologies, not just na nakikita natin. So, just to give you an idea na these things exist lang. So what is the meaning of Internet of Things? It's just actually, I was saying earlier, it's referring to millions or billions of physical devices, which are sensors, that are now connected to the internet, and they are collecting and sharing data and then transform the data into insights and can, like communicate the insights to maybe to humans or maybe to other machines to make decisions and to communicate as well. So IoT device is a physical object, if you will see. And then it has the capacity to connect to the internet and gather data. So these are the examples of Internet of Things by industry. So if yung sabi ko kanina, at home somehow you have some Internet of Things. What is your mobile device? It's already an Internet of Things device. And then TV, and then minsan din we'll see like from advertisement there are even smart clocks or what do you call this, like if you have a security system that connects to to a website application, and then you control that through the website application, then that's already smart device. And for example, like maybe I was thinking, even I make a joke to my friends, like yung pagising ko, sabi ko na lang make a breakfast for me, something, and then yung automated yung mga my hearing capacity, yung coffee maker. Make sure syempre yung coffee maker is high technology din, so which is hindi ko ma-afford yung mga ganun, but yun yung klase na smart technology where it accepts input and then it generates something, or it does something, or at least kumukuha siya ng input to process information. So that's sa home. So it can be temperature control. So kung may aircon kayo or may heater kayo, hindi naman nating uso yung heater dyan. Yun, magsasalita ka na lang, Alexa, please turn on the heater, or please turn on the aircon, yung ganon, or please turn on the fan. But hindi, dapat yung fan nyo, hindi yung electric fan ha, yung manual. Usually nakaano na yan, yung mga bago na ngayon. May mga sound or listening capacity na sila, or pwede din i-connect sa mga audio systems like yung Alexa, or ano yung may Google din na version. Tapos hindi lang yan siya applied at home. You can find it in different industries. Like for example, sa automotive, yung famous ngayon, yung nakikita natin si Elon Musk, ano ba yung tawag yan? Ano ba yung yung electric car niya, yung binibuild niya. So usually yung autonomous vehicle na yon, actually nakaka-order yun ng spare parts. For example, nga gino-joke ko din yung friends ko na yun kung mayaman ka na masyado, yung parang yung car mo na lang nag-order para sa iyo. We have diagnosed that you have a battery that the car battery is low. Should we order now from eBay or not? Something yung mag-yes or no ka na lang. So yun yung mga automatic na Internet of Things sa car, sa automotive. And hindi lang naman siya sa car, but it can be on industrial cars. It can be on, yung mga hindi ginagamit natin everyday, yung mga trucks, or pwede din yung mga trains. So yan yun sa automotive. May mga tawag dyan, mga technologies na mga automatic na dyan. And then sa agriculture, which is yun yung sa part ng Internet of Things, yan yung pinaka yung parang close talaga sa heart ko. Yung gusto-gusto ko pag-aralan. Kasi yung project ko ngayon is about soil analysis. So may sensor kami na binigay sa amin ng mga researcher. As a group, yung capstone namin is to create a web app and then to read yung sensor na data to a computer. So gawa kami ng web app na magre-read siya ng data from that app, which is an ASCII data, and we convert it into a CSV format na ready for the researchers to use and analyze the data. So yung challenge doon is how to read an ASCII data from that sensor. So yun. But it was interesting kasi gagawa ka something na nag-involve ng sensor, and then you will create that website na actually it's not just about gathering data, but it's actually visualizing the data na nakikita ng yung researcher, nakikita nila yung map kung saan sila nag-gather ng soil analysis data. So yun yung isa sa mga projects namin sa capstone. And then crop management. Ano ba sa crop management? Alam niyo yung mga drone? May mga drones na sa ginagamit sa farming where they will run, parang magpa-fly siya para mag-analyze lang ng mga crops or ng mga soil by vision. And tinitingnan nila kung may area ba na maraming patay na may mga weeds or may mga patay na mga plants. So nakikita nila where, kung saan, na-analyze nila yun through that drone. So marami siya, may drone, mayroong sensor talaga na soil moisture sensor, iba't iba, but yan yun sa mga Internet of Things sa agriculture na mga examples. What else? Sa military, I think di naman question yan yung mga technology nila kasi sila naman usually is like mga 10 years advance yan sila sa technology compare sa consumer na kagaya natin or even yung mga automotive consumers, agriculture consumers, yun. And then the medical, which is actually common din, yung mga wearable, kasi yung may mga specialized na mga medical treatments na kailangan ng monitoring talaga, nilalagay talaga nila ng, meron yun yung parang sa isang uncle ng friend ko na nilagay yung parang machine sa heart para mag-help mag-beat. So, yung machine na yun, maliit lang siya, but may Internet of Things doon na sensor na nagtatrack talaga na kung may something wrong, nagsasend siya ng signal, and then the doctors will know na may something wrong, and they can right away diagnose kung ano ang issue. So that is like live real-time data feeding. So sa environment naman is species tracking. May inattend akong not webinar but parang event siya for different devices na ginagamit sa mining, sa forest, tracking and everything, yung mga species, yung mga animals na tinatrack. So may binigay sila na ganito lang kaliit, parang mobile phone, maybe half ng mobile phone, but makapal siya konti. And sabi nila, oh, this is a tracker for, you can put this on your tractor if you want to track your tractor. Like, kasi sa tractor sa field, lalo na open field, baka may magnanakaw niyan. So, wala kang tracker, so mahirap na, mahal yan siya. So, pwede din siya gamitin yung the same thing sa mga whales. Sabi niya, ito, may study kaming ginawa na nilagay ito sa whales para makatrack kami ng mga whales, kung saan sila pumupunta, ano yung ginagawa nila. Pinalagay lang daw nila somewhere sa part ng whale. So, inoperate siguro nila mga vets, tapos maglalagay lang doon para ma-track yung mga whales, behavior ng whales. So, weather predictions, very, very famous. May mga, kasi yung mga weather prediction, di naman siya, maraming systems involved dyan to predict the weather. And may mga tao nila stations, na weather stations para magta-track. So every like how many kilometers, may mga stations dyan, and mga stations is may sensors yan sila to make sure na nag-transmit sila ng data accurately to give us, you know, the weather prediction for tomorrow. So kaya nga, maybe dyan sa Philippines, alam naman natin either rain lang or sunny yung weather. Di na importante sa atin masyado, but dito kasi minsan malamig bukas, malamig, so magja-jacket ka ba or magdadala ka ng payong, or how much rain will it be, like 20% lang ba? So meaning 20% hindi ka na magdadala ng payong, but if it's saying 60% na possibly uulan talaga siya kasi 60%, so magdadala ka ng payong. Unlike sa Philippines, yung na-observe ko, sasabihin niyang 60% pero actually 100% whole day yung ulan. So minsan hindi accurate yung nakita ko sa Philippines na weather that time. So possibly yung mga weather stations nila is not as much kasi medyo sobra siguro layo yung mga kwan. Yung binibigay niya lang is yung anong tawag diyan, yung average lang na nakikita niya ba. So hindi talaga siya that accurate. What else? So retail is like when you have a retail site. So for example, SM City, yung mga products nila is not naman, nakikita nyo sa mall, is ando na sa mall. But actually, galing pa yan sa mga farmers, galing pa yan somewhere sa Cebu or from Manila, yung mga packages para ilalagay nila dyan before makikita natin sa shelf. So along the way, yung logistics operations na nag-i-involve na nagde-deliver ng mga products na yan, yan yung tawag nila na inventory. So dapat alam nila saan ano yung status na, kung nasa plane, nasa Cagayan na ba siya or papunta na ba, ganun, ilang oras. So with Internet of Things, may natatrack talaga yan sila, lalo na yung mga fresh goods. So kasi yung mga fresh goods, may limit lang yan na time range para ma-store siya. Yun yung mga examples ng Internet of Things by industry. Yung question now is, bakit sikat? How did, how did Internet of Things become popular? Naging popular siya kasi with the recent evolution sa technology, many people are already consuming smart technologies from mobile phone. So mobile phone is the #1 talaga na Internet of Things na device. And then we are also learning how to use other smart devices na, like yung mga smart glasses, smart watches para mag-track ng mga fitness or mga health statistics. And then naging na din yung mga sa developer side, mga IoT developers, naging mura na yung mga microcontroller. This is an example of a microcontroller. Raspberry Pi to siya. Microcontrollers are like computers, but they are small in capacity, small in size. They are designed for developing your Internet of Things like robots or applications. They are not as powerful as a computer, but pwede ka na mag-operate ng web browser dito. Of course, yung operating system niya is Linux. So, dapat familiar ka sa Linux konti. Kaya for developers talaga siya. But, so if you're a builder, an engineer or something na gusto mo mag-build ng something, you can start it with this. So, nagiging, na siya, aside from the demand na sa mga big companies na to make robots automation sa mga machineries nila, nagiging popular na rin siya for consumers, especially yung nagla-learn how to make these kinds of robots. So, and then sensors din, may mga sample na maliliit na mga sensors, so soil moisture sensor, may mga benta na ngayon online. Maybe i-show ko sa inyo, maybe mamaya na lang. At a lower, at a cost na ma-afford lang talaga siya. So, para makaka-experience kayo mag-develop ng device na robot. And then yung cloud din, nagiging na siya, accessible, so mas madali na siya to make. So with all this, yan yung nagda-drive talaga ng Internet of Things technology na popularity. So how is the architecture look like for Internet of Things using the cloud? So for example, you have many sensors dito sa left part. Mga sensors yan ng isang system mo, nagko-connect through a Wi-Fi. It can be Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or a physical, cable. And then, of course, considering secure yan, yung data nagto-transfer, nagko-collect yan sila ng information, nagta-transfer yung data sa isang cloud service called mga IoT-related na cloud service. Nag-i-store yan sila ng data doon, and then it will be used sa right dito, it will be used by, like by any third party or kahit mismo sa cloud, ma-analyze mo yung data, gawa ka lang ng dashboards or yung mga graphs to use to analyze what you've collected. And sometimes, yung na-collect, hindi naman yung tao yung nag-analyze, pwede din machine mismo, yung nagko-collect nun, and then siya mismo magde-decide based from what they collected. So, yun yung mga examples. Ito is just if you're interested into curious more about IoT app development, maybe sa mga tawag dyan, sa mga projects nyo or yung thesis nyo, pwede kayo gumawa ng thesis something related to this, and most likely yung teachers nyo may impress kasi at some point these are new technologies and marami talaga siyang topics na pwede nyo i-touch or pwede kumuha lang kayo ng isa na to discuss with sa thesis nyo. So iba-iba siya for transport like fleet management, sa utilities, smart metering, yung I think dito na-apply siya kasi may mga solar panels yung mga bahay. May bahay na nagtatransmit ng mas maraming solar energy to the grid. So mas mura yung binabayad niya na kuryente kasi nga nagtatransmit siya ng maraming energy na to the government, ano ba yung private service ng grid. And then yung smart cities, yung mga iba sa inyo gusto gumawa ng simple parking sensor na project, magagawa lang talaga siya. Maybe at a cost, aabot siguro siya mga 5,000 pesos kasi bibili kayo ng mga products. But pwede nyo naman actually maghingi ng support from school and they can, give you the examples of those microprocessors to set up a parking sensor project. Waste management is vision, yung parang tawag dyan, yung may dumadaan na mga basura, ta siya yung parang nagka-categorize kung ito plastic, ito hindi, yung ganon. Smoke detector is mostly yung di pa ako naka-encounter ng actually yung nose, yung smelling na sensor, but meron yun siya, nag-exist siya. Even yung, tawag dyan, yung fire alarm system, may mga smoke detector yan sila, but although hindi pa, yung itong fire alarm dito sa bahay, hindi siya connected sa internet, so it's not a smart, what do you call it? Smart device, but it's a smoke detector. So you can probably buy a small smoke detector online or somewhere para gumawa ng small IoT project. And the rest is just, which I have explained earlier na din. Now, here we go sa fun part. So, as we have explained earlier, maraming types of devices ang Internet of Things. But how you can go about it is to learn these microprocessors, and once you learn a little bit of this, then and how they are being used, then you'll have an idea na nag-e-exist tong mga bagay na ganito sa technical world, lalo na sa mga electronics engineering na mga how do I say, mga students. Kasi I think ano to sa kanila relevant since it's involving electronics at some point. And what you need here is the Raspberry Pi or Arduino, and then this is the breadboard, and some wires. Usually kung bibili ka ng kit, may tawag nila dyan like you want to build a obstacle avoiding car robot, bibili ka ng isang kit, may bibigay na yan sila na mga accessories na may vision, medyo mahal to siya, but like considering ma-afford lang, considering just for exposure lang din sa inyo as technical or tech students. May mga tawag dyan, may manual siya, so hindi siya mahirap i-program because the manual also provides you the exact code to put and test on the system. So once na setup na to, kailangan mo lang siya i-connect sa monitor, and then of course maglalagay ka ng tawag dito micro SD card. That is where you put your software, your Linux. May online lang, mada-download lang siya online. It's a very small amount lang magko-consume para sa memory mo. And i-chuck mo to sa loob. So naka-installed na yung, for example, may installed na Linux for Raspberry na dito. Lalagay mo na lang to dito sa Pi. Tapos i-connect mo yung Raspberry Pi sa monitor and the power. Kasi may ano naman siya, may kasali naman siyang power and connector para sa monitor. Once nako-connect mo na, then you have all this installed operating system, which is a Raspbian, Linux, Ubuntu, something operating system. Magta-turn on mo na to siya. So mag-computer na siya basically. Makaka-type ka na doon, makaka-send ka na, makaka-browse ka na, kung may internet connection, makaka-browse ka ng Facebook and everything. So, parang computer na rin siya. But, why do I need this kaysa mag-computer? kasi ito makaka-connect to sa ibang hardware. So makaka-connect ka ng like kung gagawa ka ng robot, like itong kamay. So may mga capabilities siya, mga wires kung saan mo mako-connect para makontrol yung mga robots na gusto mo i-control. So computer wala kasi yung computer naka-close siya eh. So yun. But then like it takes some, amount to experiment, but it's a good thing talaga kasi ito yung sabi nila trending and will be trending in the next 5 years pa rin siguro. So maybe 10 years pa rin. So kung ma-explore nyo to, most likely marami din kayong matututunan and ma-apply nyo din to in the future kung mag-apply kayo ng job, kung may mga projects kayo na nakagawa ng ganito. Ito yung ginawa namin sa isang IoT project. So I wanted to share to you an example. Last year, it's 5 of us in the group. Wala akong idea about this stuff last time. Until, yun nga, nagkuha ko ng unit na to.
This is where new parents will remember life before becoming new parents. This is the kitchen.
So I'll show you. Yan po. So it's a pet feeder. Automatic pet feeder using Raspberry Pi.
servo motor in here. We got a Raspberry Pi camera. There's a motion sensor below this cover, and then Red Bull connecting it with all the connections. 3D printed. Yeah, these parts are 3D printed. This is the servo case, which is connected to the servo motor, and we have the feed in here. So the servo motor turns a definite amount of feed, which is stored at the bottom, gets dispensed. And the other thing we have servo printed is the mounting for the motor, as well as the mounting for the sensor and the camera. Now we have our interface on Blink. So this is our interface. We have last feed time, last motion time, and buttons to do certain specific options. So we have auto feed enable. So if I turn auto feed enable, it will automatically start dispensing feed. So I'm going to turn that on now. As you can see, it's going to dispense feed every 2 minutes, but it can be set as per requirements. The timing can be changed. Now we're going to do a manual feed. This button does a manual feed. So whenever I press that, it will dispense the quantity of feed. I'll show it to you again. And we also have another function for it to detect motion. So as you can see, now the last motion was detected at 1625, but it's 1626. So if I move my hand around there, this time gets updated to 1626.26. But it didn't dispense feed because the timer is set to not dispense feed at a very short interval. And this counter at the side displays how many feeds are left in the bottle. And the screen below is the camera feed. So whatever is going on over there, if the pet comes around over there, you can see it in the camera feed.
Every year, 1 in 3 Australians aged 6.
Okay, yun. Ito din yung ibang videos na kasi may robotics club kami sa school and they are run by both bachelor's and master's degree students and not just from IT but a mixture of everything, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science. So they are like fanatics of robotics. Kumawa sila ng club and in the club they have a small room where they put all their projects as a club for either club use or for personal, and then also like for everyone to collaborate and give information about the robotics. And pumunta ako doon kasi doon namin ginagawa yung current project, and then nag-sneak ako sa mga iba't ibang projects na meron doon. I just wanted to share to you na maybe in the future, gusto nyo din gumawa ng robotics club similar. So, ito. Wala siyang sound, but yan. Yan yung Raspberry Pi. Tapos may nilagay silang Raspberry Pi na screen on top. Hindi ko alam what purpose yung robot na to, but it's one of their projects doon. Ito din is like a machine for parang boat, siya, tracker. Ayan siya. Raspberry Pi din siya. Parang bomb, no? Pero parang controller yun siya na may tinatrack siya something from the boat. What else? So now, I think we're done with the Internet of Things. So any questions? Before tayo pumunta sa mga IT job landscape, tsaka, yeah, sorry pa.
I can see audio and I think there is a stream.
Hello po, buhay pa ba?
Stream.
Oops, wait.
Good.
Can you see me? Can you hear?
Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am, baka may questions kay ma'am. The floor is open for Q&A.
Yeah, kay last part na to,
Yes.
yung topic. Because anyway, mahaba na din yung natin, yung
Okay.
presentation. Proceed na
Buhay pa ba?
Buhay pa. Kaya pa.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. Sige, kaya.
Alive.
Alive. Okay.
Okay, so sige, basta drop lang kayo ng mga questions. So may nag-question Tesla daw. Yes, Tesla, yung kanina. Ano yun? Sensor, marami siyang mga sensor sa loob at sa labas. Mga smart automobiles, yeah. So ngayon, since tapos na tayo sa mga walang demo masyado kasi malaki talaga siya na topic, yung cloud computing. Naalala ko na nag-start ako niyan last year around December by studying from Coursera. And then until now, Google Cloud Platform ako that time, and then nag-Microsoft ako in the middle of the year, and then now I'm doing AWS services. So similar lang naman siya na concept, but it's good kasi yung technique is di ka mag-stop sa isang category lang. Kasi everything is like learning. Kasi malaki masyado siya na concept. And I hope na yung cloud computing isasali dyan sa course outline ng BS course outline nyo as a technique or sa tech na mga tawag dyan, mga courses, yung mga ECE, yung CS, yung BME, anything na may engineering na related na computer programming, dapat sana may sasuggest ko na pwede kong ilalagay yung cloud computing para kasi gamit na gamit siya, especially when you graduate, when you apply for a job. Hindi dyan sa Zamboanga, but somewhere if you go to Manila or if you go abroad, then you have the chance, malaki yung yung potential mo to get a job right away with knowledge in cloud computing. Anyway, Anyway, right now, magbibigay ako sa inyo ng idea ano yung mga jobs na pwede nyong i-apply in the near future at least sakto din ngayon, 2 years from now pa naman, makaka-prepare ko. Once may idea kayo kung anong jobs out there, makaka-prepare kayo enough na hindi naman siya lahat programming lang, hindi naman siya lahat yung mga hacking, hindi naman siya lahat about network. Ang IT or computer in information technology is really a very broad occupation, ano ba tawag yan? Yung job na makikita nyo. So, hindi lang siya specific, but if you will, yung sabi niya, kasi nga, dyan tayo sa Zamboanga, hindi that much marami na mga tech company. So, kaya din di ko rin masisisi na yung knowledge natin minsan, na lang doon, kung ano lang yung nakikita natin sa environment. But actually, if you go outside sa city, marami pa din, like, especially yung mga big cities, maybe Singapore, Dubai, madali lang silang pasukin as a tech doon. Talaga, marami siyang iba't ibang uri ng mga jobs for IT. Regardless kung nag-graduate ka ng engineering or graduate ka ng IT lang or yung specific na IT ta focus or CE ka or COE ka or computer science, actually it depends talaga kung ano yung mas na-feel mo na fit sa'yo, na gusto mo na trabaho na nasa IT. It doesn't matter na kung programming ba siya or project manager ba siya or website developer ka ba. It's up to you lang talaga kung ano yung nafi-fit sa sa anong gusto mo. And even kung kahit IT graduate ka, gusto mo mag-medical na field, wala naman talagang problema yan. As in, nasa sa atin lang as long as paseda. But anyway, so here, we can see the different, actually, masa-search nyo lang naman, software engineering IT job landscape, makikita nyo lang yan online. At least right now, binibigyan ko lang kayo ng idea how it looks like na anong mga jobs that you can find out there. So yung mga big, nakikita niyo dito sa right part of the pie is yun yung latest, kasi latest to maybe not as latest as 2021, but maybe in the last 3 years. Ito yung mga malalaking jobs na out there na I think dito sa Australia, mga common na malalaki yung mga demand, which is malaki din yung sweldo. But I think in general, IT din talaga, malaki din talaga daw yung sweldo. Hindi ko pa na-experience kasi hindi naman ako IT pa. Nagtra-transition pa ako. So, hopefully nga. But anyway, nakikita nyo may data scientist, data analyst, system administrator. Sila yung mga malalaki ngayon, but not necessarily na yan talaga kaagad ang i-achieve natin. Pwede naman kayo mag-start ng iba't iba. Basta matry nyo lang. But as long as it's tech, once nakapasok na kayo, kahit saan, pwede na kayo mag-explore, regardless kung ano yung starting point nyo. Basta wag lang mag-stop. Yun yung kasi pag nag-i-stop, kahit ka siguro mag-stop once naka-tech experience ka na, parang madali na lang din bumalik. As long as isa kang tao na yung may passion talaga na mag-learn, everything is possible. So, yun. So, pwede ka mag-start like, hindi na mag-start, maybe just general. Eto, may database administrator, matagal na yung job na yan. DevOps engineer, siya, yung may bago na kasi ngayon may nag-change na yung IT job landscape. Yung noon, separate lang yung programmer, yung gano'n. Ngayon, may DevOps na. Parang programmers siya, but more on, tawag dyan, yung parang, depende sa structure ng company, na part siya ng development operations. So, pwede ka mag-programmer, but part ka ng nila, like gumagawa ka lang ng part ng system, or nagtetest ka lang ng part ng system. And then, may iba din na mga roles like PC technicians, yan yung mga physical. So, hindi siya physical, physical technicians yan sila. So, may mga nasisira. So, yun yung common din na nag-e-exist kahit noon. But if PC technician ka and then you want to go to the cloud na industry, it's also good na background to have technician na experience kasi yung cloud is more on naman din talaga yung gumagawa ng virtual machines, but it's just that online. And then you just need to get some certifications and seminars to pass the certifications and then go and apply for the roles. Yung iba systems analyst, yung iba mga IT staff, then may bago ngayon yung cybersecurity na nag-i-increase na ng demand talaga. Yun din yung gusto kong pasukin, cybersecurity. Hindi siya hacker, although part of it is ethical hacking. You have to know how to hack in a way so that you will understand what hackers do, but you're doing it in a good way daw, accordingly. But di naman ako hacker. So I'm still learning. Di naman. Tinuruan lang nila gumawa ng penetration testing. Yun yung parang may gagawin kang mga example, yung campaign. May ginagawa yun ngayon, yung magsasend ako ng phishing campaign. So magsasend ako sa inyo ngayon o magsasign up kayo ng mga details. O tapos may naghihingi ako password and yung parang website talaga. Yung parang common ngayon sa mga bank, yung magkiklik ka ng link tapos pala yung website kamukha talaga ng PNB or kamukha talaga ng Metrobank, tapos magla-login ka. So kinuha na yung password mo, yung mga ganon. Mga phishing emails na campaigns yun sila. So yun yung mga isa. And then yung isa is papasok ka talaga sa network, may gagamitin kang mga tools. Pero hindi siya hacking for yung for fun. It's hacking for, it's just to understand. It's just basic lang na hacking. Hindi naman siya yung tapos yung ibang cybersecurity na ginagawa din, yung mag-audit lang na how aware yung mga training, yung mga tao sa organization about cyber security threats. So, and then how to train them na, wag kayo mag-click ng link. Kung mag-click kayo ng link from email, make sure na you check the website page before putting. Kasi ako, biktima din ako ng mga ganun siguro. Hindi ko alam. Maybe na naka-sign up na ako ng mga na hindi ko alam na akala ko legit, hindi pala. So, ganon yung how aware. So the reason gusto ko mag-cybersecurity, pumasok sa cybersecurity, it's because it's to make me aware naman. It's not to, how do I say, like, to do something for someone or whatever. But it's more on the defense side. But anyway, nag-i-increase na yan siya na, how do I say, na occupation. And it's really a good time to start as early as now. Okay, once the market will mature, you will be there and you will be a senior na. So I'm expecting not to be an expert now, maybe in the next 5 years, maybe. But even though I'm still not an expert by then, pero nakapasok na ako in that particular cybersecurity na industry, then magiging senior na rin ako by then. So yun lang, parang pinaplano mo na yun the next 5 years mo, regardless kung possible na mangyayari yun o hindi, but at least may ginagawa kang something for yourself to prepare for that in the future. So ito yung mga bago, yung IT security, yung DevOps engineer, data science, yung mga gusto mag-analyze ng mga tapos machine learning engineer, yung mga gusto mag-artificial intelligence engineer. Hindi naman siya mahirap to be that. Honestly, in a way, it's just that walang exposure, walang companies dyan na nagbibigay ng opportunities to learn. So I think that's one gap there. Hindi siya something na parang mga bright lang talaga yung makakaganyan. I think may capacity tayo lahat, may capability tayo. It's just that wala tayong exposure enough to learn kung ano yan sila. Kahit lang, like, may ganun pala na system, may ganun pala na mga occupations. So anyway, so yung iba is cloud. Ito yung mga mixture of marami pa ring mga old, hindi siya old, but yung mga common na IT occupations with the new ones. CIO, meron Chief Information Officer, o diba? Tapos meron ding help desk technician. So yung example, kung nag-work ka sa call center, And then yung client or yung company na wino-work mo is, meron din sabi nila, Telstra daw. Yung sa Cebu, I think yung brother ko sa Telstra call center daw sila nagsa-service. So, about technical support siya. So, that means they are help desk technician. So, IT pa rin siya. And but di lang siya yung sa programming na part, but they are still IT. And in demand siya kahit dito at some point. So may gamit talaga actually yung call center experience kasi especially pag technical plus may programming background, so masasell mo yung self mo as a technical person in a way. And then ito yung cloud na job landscape. So yung topic natin kanila about cloud, these are some of the jobs out there na mga bago pa rin, di bago yung business analyst, but yung iba dito is very, very new na nag-pop up na high demand talaga, like super high. Kasi it can be a hybrid of like a database analyst and a business analyst. And then they are just using newer technologies. So naging sikat talaga siya ngayon, lalo na dito sa Australia. Like yung data engineer, business intelligence officer. So, wala siya dyan. But if you want to have an idea, like ano talaga yung jobs na kung gusto nyo mag-work, kasi medyo, kung dito kasi mag-a-apply kayo, kailangan ng mga visa issues. But if you want right away to, mas malaki yung chance na i-hire kayo talaga kaagad without having issues on the visa, and then wala ka masyado experience, then go sa Manila or Singapore, Dubai, yan yung mga countries na maraming mga IT jobs talaga, so makaka-explore ka talaga. And then, ito yung mga iba't ibang big data na mga jobs opportunities sa labas. So sa cybersecurity, we have networking, so cyber technician. Ito yung mga iba't ibang category ng mga sa cybersecurity na pathway. So hindi lang siya isa, hindi lang siya, like sabi ko kanina, hindi lang siya programmer, hindi lang siya web developer. Marami siyang iba't iba. Common lang talaga yung web developer, but if you work for like organizations na talaga, hindi yung freelance, hindi yung mga small businesses lang. But pag sa malaking city ka, mas maraming opportunity doon at makikita mo doon na iba't iba yung mga segments ng particular na IT job. So where to start? Ito yung exciting. So hindi nyo ba alam, maraming mga free, there are a lot of free resources out there. Siyempre yung YouTube ang yung something na overwhelming na kasi ang dami, unlimited. So it's up to you lang talaga on which one na yung nag-fit sa curiosity mo and yung nag-fit sa type of learner ka. Like ako, visual learner ako. Minsan YouTube talaga, mas gusto ko yung mag-learn sa video rather than reading. So YouTube, but anyway, kahit anong resources yan, it's a matter of how you want to progress. Hindi necessarily you learn everything. It's just like try to kung ano yung nag-i-interest sa'yo, and I'm giving you information now just to give you an idea kung what's out there and where you can start, and then like up to you to how to go about. So think about the 5 years from now and where you want to go, where you want to be, and don't stop like dyan lang. You can move somewhere else to get that opportunity kasi minsan di naman nakukuha yan dyan kahit sa Pilipinas in general. So abroad meron siya, so yun. So these are like some of the learning paths. And then I also encourage na kung pwede kayo kumuha ng certifications like Amazon Web Services certifications or Microsoft certifications. May bayad siya, but makakuha kayo ng mga free kasi may mga times na minsan nakukuha tayo ng mga free. Mayroon naman siya. So for Google, yung mga Google fans dyan, pwede din may Google Cloud Platform na certifications and trainings. So ayan, bigay ko sa inyo yung link. Okay, click nyo lang yan later on and explore on it. Oh, ito, another tip. So job hunting tips. So number 1 is build your LinkedIn profile. So very, very important yan sa job hunting kasi of course, nag-a-apply ka, people will look at your digital footprint, especially yung mga public, hindi yung Facebook, kasi yung Facebook minsan is not for ano talaga siya, minsan super personal, but if you use it for your personal branding, then make sure just yung ano lang yung gusto mo na makita ng employer, na target employer mo, yun yung ibibigay mo. So LinkedIn is the use talaga for professional like social media. But yeah, I'm just giving you an idea na you can use that for your personal branding, and you don't necessarily need to finish everything now. You can start it now and then slowly lang siya i-build and position yourself. Marketing, nasa marketing kasi ako, so medyo familiar ako. So how do you position yourself? How do you want to position? You want to be a data scientist? You want to be system technician? You build yourself there. So kuha ka ng mga Coursera courses from online, or yung mga certificates. Alam niyo saan ko nakuha yan? Yung mga Indians na mga bachelors. Grabe sila mag-build ng profile nila sa LinkedIn. Meron na silang GCP certification, meron na silang AWS, may Azure pa sila. So parang parang lahat na ng certifications kinukuha na nila. Sabi ko, try ko kaya yung mga ganyan. So, sinishare ko lang sa inyo. So, not necessarily gawin nyo yan as lahat-lahat. It's just a matter of just to start and consistently improve slowly kung ano yung facing na gusto nyo na mag-improve siya. And then also if you want to end up have a job in tech in the future right away after you graduate, it's really, really good to have a portfolio. So what is a portfolio? Like mga coding project nyo, kahit anong basura pa yan yung nilagay nyo na mess about how you code, a good practice is to put it online, and then make sure na naglagay kayo na anong ginawa nyo, paano nyo ni-solve yung problem for that particular, like gumawa kayo ng code to read an information from the sensor using Python. Kasi ako hindi ako masyado sa Java and how do I say, C++, because hindi naman na ayoko sa Java or C++, it's because kasi yung sa school tinuturo talaga nila is Python, kasi yun naman talaga yung pinakabagong yung parang to start with, like makakagawa ka ng website from using Python, makakagawa ka ng mga applications using Python, and slowly transition to Java later on if you want, or you can start with Java if you think you like it, then you can really do anything na to start with lang. And then also, like what I've said earlier, you can put them online as your own, as long as you can explain that it's your own. It doesn't siguro necessarily need na you can say that you copied a bit of it, but I think what the employers would like to know na you did it and you learned something out of it, and the logic of how you solved a certain simple problem in the way of like how you coded your project. Once it's online, you can put it on GitHub, and then you can use it, post it like as a public thing. And once you apply, then you can just refer your GitHub account online. And what else? You can also use your personal portfolio as a personal website. So nakita ko din yung mga Indians, may nakilala ko mga bachelor pa sila. They have their website as a portfolio, tas may mga examples of websites na ginawa nila like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And they are really good. Di ko alam how their culture in IT, I can say that they are really strong in terms of like the IT knowledge itself, and at the same time yung marketing strategies nila as a student, as a student. And then prepare your CV. You can check online kasi marami namang access online na yung mga tao ngayon, so you can just check how to prepare your CV as a, for example, how do a CV for entry-level IT person or officer, or maybe database administrator. So you just search that online and then you can get an idea. And then how to look for a job. So kahit as early as now, just to give you an idea anong jobs ang nasa labas or nasa out there aside from Zamboanga City, IT jobs, you can search from Indeed or just go online and Google, IT jobs in Dubai or database administrator job in Singapore, or yung mga binigay ko kanina na ito, business analyst in Singapore jobs. Tapos, titingnan nyo yung job description and to give you an idea, ano yung mga hinahanap nila na mga skills. And in that way, you can slowly build that yourself. Na ito yung gusto ko na skill, kukuha ako ng wala sa school binibigay, so I'll go online and learn by myself. So yun yung mga techniques dyan. So with that, you can put that on your resume. So, but kukuha ka ng idea sa mga job sites na to. So Job Street, dito sa Australia, matawag lang seek.com.au, seek, seek.com.au, yun. Yun yung ginagawa ko. And then, the last part na takeaway is network. Reach out and talk to people, hindi lang yung mga seniors, but who are already in the field. So, like for example, mga alumnus na nagwo-work online, nagwo-work as IT, you can contact them maybe as an organization. Kung may alam kayong nagwo-work sa IT na field, you can ask them to, or reach out to them and interview them on how they came about this, how they came about to work in the field. And I'm pretty sure they're willing to share their experiences. This is the things that hindi ko nagawa noon when I was still a student. So I'm giving you the ideas on how to go about. In that way, you learn a lot from these people because they are experienced in the field. So just make friends with them regardless, just for formality's sake lang na we need your help at ganon na gusto namin maka-idea kung paano ba how to work in the field. So yun. Join tech events already, I think, which is common na may mga sa LinkedIn din, maganda din yung nagpa-follow kayo sa mga iba't ibang people na who are doing who are in the tech field. Because sometimes may nagsishare na yan sila, or kahit may magpa-follow lang kayo na gusto nyo sa tech, regardless kung Pinoy siya or friend nyo siya or hindi. Basta i-follow nyo siya kasi mag-share yan siya ng mga information, and once mag-share siya, may idea kayo na what's going on. So that's how I do things for myself. So kahit ako, hindi pa ako nagwo-work sa IT industry, but that's how I am preparing myself right now. And I only have 2 years to prepare. So same din sa inyo. I think the advantage na sa akin kasi andito ako sa big city na, and it's already like I can just right away submit myself to look for a job here if I'm ready na to work kasi hindi pa na, I still have 1 more semester pa to go. But for you guys out there, you can try out and just do a little bit of this stuff, not necessarily finish it right now, but slowly you can build this, and then once you're ready to apply na, it's easy for you to refer to your experiences and your coding projects, your LinkedIn profile, your CV. Din nyo yan siya gagawin that time pa, the moment when you apply for a job, kasi it's gonna be a bit late na, although there's no late. I mean, it's better to be late than never or something, but it's also good na mayroon na kayong ready to submit beforehand pa na, before pa kayo mag-job hunt. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For more tips, ito hacking mag-subscribe lang kayo. Email lang naman ang hinihingi ko. Depende lang kung interesado pa talaga kayo to learn, baka kasi makikita ko na maraming gusto pa mag-present pa ako ng ibang topics in the future. If I see that maraming gusto, then why not? I mean, magtatapos na rin yung SEM ko this hanggang 3 weeks from now na lang, so I have free time na din to do other stuff. So I don't mind sharing my time to do other presentations din. So there, yun lang. Thank you.
Ayun, thank you very much, ma'am. Baka may questions yung iba for Q&A. The floor is open for Q&A, mga kaibigan. Sige, okay, take your time. Baka mag-chat pa yan sila. Drop lang nyo or chat sa sa your questions sa chat. Yun.
Hopefully naka-help ako sa ano nyo, sa
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so sige, sink in ko na lang din do. May tanong din ako, ma'am.
Apo, sige pa.
It's regarding sa LinkedIn, ma'am.
Ah,
It's like, ano yan siya, ma'am? Parang i-display nyo po yung personal information nyo and then yung ano ba yun sabihin? Yung occupation and then yung yung company na mismo bahala.
teka ha, mag-share siguro ako ng example ng LinkedIn ko. Kasi yung LinkedIn ko, binild ko to like since naghanap na ako ng work. That was like 12 years ago, 15 years ago. So yan. This is what you see in LinkedIn. Then makaka-customize ka naman if what you want to put there. Just make sure wag kayo mag-public ng birthday and like super personal. Yung email, yung ginagawa ko, yung email ko for professional is different from my personal email. Pero of course, may access ako sa both para hindi siya magiging like like kung ano yung ma-receive mo sa professional, yun lang din yung ma-expect mo. Yung personal mo is for your bill, yung mga bayad mo sa bills and everything, yung sa Facebook mo or anong whatever na mga purpose. But mas maganda, the more marami siyang segments of email, mas makokontrol mo yung mga what do you call this, like where do you want to use it. So ito yung public profile ko. So hindi siya klaro yung picture, hindi ako kasi for friends lang. Before, hindi ako naglagay ng about sa public. Parang binigay ko lang yung access sa sa network ko lang. But sabi ng friend ko, if you're applying for a job, make it public lang kasi when you submit like your CV to an application, HR will check it and then they will look at your profile. They cannot see because they are not part of your network. So I said like, okay, ipapublic ko na lang. So gawa ka ng tawag yan yung elevator pitch about yourself. Kung wala ka masyadong malagay, at least kuha ka ng ideas from different people, put them all together and how you want to sell yourself as a tech person. That maybe if you want to transition, you're still a student, you want to transition, you'll get examples from different people in LinkedIn. Especially if bigay ako from people from India, ang galing nila mag-market sa mga nila. From dito until sa portfolio. And then sa LinkedIn, lagay ka na experience. So actually yung experience ko, my 10 years na experience kasi I'm transitioning din. So kinat ko na yung experience ko to something lang, short, very short lang. And then yung iba, ako naglagay lang ako nito kasi student ambassador naman ako ng Microsoft. And then this is my current job talaga, is digital marketing and web analytics sa company na to. And then I just put some descriptions on what I do. And of course, pag sa CV, important yung what you do, but mas important is what you have done to improve what you do. So like you increase the ilang. For example, kung nagma-manage ka ng tawag dyan, example, nagwo-work ka as how do I say, yung student ako, nagwo-work ako dyan as yung nag-encode. So ilang students ang na-encode ko for the entire project or like for the entire enrollment time. So yun, may mga figures talaga siya. So like for example, ito, yung 2010-20, nag-grow ako ng campaign spend from 100 to 500%, yung ganun. Kasi maganda din siya, but later in the future, kung wala pa kayong ganyan ngayon, in the future, mabibuild nyo yan along the way. So kung may projects na kayong ginawa, pa rin yun ma-highlight, I was the part of the project, and then I was the project manager. I managed the team, and yung project timeline and mga task doon. So you can use that as your accomplishment. And then dito is yung school, yung education, and then yung mga units na na-tackle, then yung think nyo na relevant sa gusto nyong gawin, and volunteer experience. So kung mga committee dito, pwede kayo maglagay ng volunteer experience, and then license and certifications. yung sabi ko kanina about Azure certifications, about AWS. Yung AWS ko is wala pa kasi nakaschedule siya on November na kukuha ako ng exam. But before that is you have to go through the seminar and all the training para alam mo anong i-answer. At yun yung LinkedIn. Ito yung, teka ha, mag-show ako ng, kasi ito is public, hindi naka-login sa account ko, but if you want to see yung paano, how it looks like, kung nasa account ko, nag-add ako ng mga strangers dito na yung gusto ko na find kong interesting. So make sure that your profile is professional. You can put something like medyo bagets yung talaga. Basta something na hindi naman yung talaga yung how do I say, like basta yun lang, professional looking lang na decent ba. Kung gusto mo na tech na professional, yung parang naka-hoodie lang and everything. Tapos yung mga girls, lagay konti ng lipstick, makeup para lang medyo siya, hindi siya masyadong shiny yung mukha, ganon, para sa picture. Tapos picture lang sa mobile phone and upload, ganon. What else? Bakit mayroong ganito? So ito siya, yung network ko, nag-add ako ng network dito. Tapos may mga makikita kang mga network mo, sinong ni-add mo na strangers na yan, mag-share sila ng mga information, may idea ka anong nangyayari. Like, ganun, may ganun pala. Tapos dito ko na rin nakikita na maraming mga events. So ako ng mga events, tawag dyan, join, then nami-meet ako ng mga ibang tao, ina-add ko din sila dito, nag-share din sila ng information. So I'm getting more information from their information na binibigay. So yun yung gamit. Powerful talaga yung LinkedIn in terms of like job hunting. So, and it requires time to really build it. So hindi siya gagawin lang kung kailan ka lang ready na mag-apply, but pwede siya gawin as early as now while you're still a student, kasi along the way naglalagay ka whatever you do in your units, like when you finish a unit and then you think may relevant projects na pwede mo i-showcase, pwede ka maglagay dyan. Ayun.
Thank you, ma'am.